innovate. Enable.
Hello and welcome to the Zomato Summit and Users Choice Awards 2015. Over the next half hour, we bring to you the highlights of the third Zomato Summit that was held across Delhi and Mumbai. The evening saw new age food entrepreneurs as well as stalwarts of the industry discuss pertinent issues such as the first 6 months of a restaurant and the confluence of food and tech into stimulating panel discussions.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much for joining us here. I'm going to get all of our panelists here to very quickly give you a 1-minute introduction of what they're currently doing, what their businesses are really about, and then we'll get down to brainstorming about the opportunities and challenges that the food tech business is going to be faced with. Let me start with my right. And Mohit, as the Managing Director of Sequoia Capital, does it worry you when everybody starts talking about how 2015 is going to be the year of food tech?
Well, food tech is clearly one of the verticals, and we don't necessarily separate out our investment philosophy into such sub-verticals. But let me just say this about food. The single biggest issue in the mobile internet world, which is clearly where a lot of dollars, VC dollars are flowing into, the single biggest issue in the mobile internet world is that there's not enough memory on your mobile phone. And so most Indians actually uninstall apps more than anywhere else in the world. So very few applications actually stick around on people's phones after a few weeks and months. But the one category of apps that do stick on people's phones is food, because people eat thrice a day. And so that's what really interests us about this category and why we keep making investments in it.
Mridul, let me talk to you about the experience at Fresh so far and the road ahead.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Mridul Gupta. I'm a co-founder at Fresh. So as a company, we are a little more than a year old now. What we are trying to do is trying to make fresh and healthy food accessible to urban India.
Alok, at Yumist, if you can take us through your journey so far and what the road ahead looks like for you.
Sure, would love to. So Yumist is a full stack food delivery player in the daily meals segment. Daily meals being defined by the price points of 60 to 90 rupees. So far, been serviced by the dabbawalas and the corporate canteens. We're trying to build a brand in a space which has never seen a brand so far, operating at the conjunction of price, quality, and convenience.
Okay. And price, quality, and convenience. Those are several things that you threw our way. I'm going to get you to talk to us about the marriage between all of those three and what it actually takes to get the front end aligned with the back end. But that's in just a second. Let me come to Nitin and talk to us about your story.
Hey guys, I'm Nitin Saluja. We are building Chayos. We are the new age chaiwalas, and we are trying to target a category that has been ignored forever. The USP that Chayos brings on the table is that we try and give customer the Meri Wali chai, something that's not available anywhere other than Chayos.
Let me bring in Rahul Gill, your story for us.
So we are a B2B hyperlocal logistics company. So basically what we do is we deliver the food from your favorite restaurant to your place.
It is about customer experience. It is about owning the customer experience. What do you see as the road ahead? Let's take the telecom example, for instance. That's about customer experience as well. But in order to keep costs in check, look what happened with the likes of Bharti Airtel, where you were really outsourcing, in that sense, your network operations. You were outsourcing your infrastructure operations, your tower operations. How do you see that model perhaps being incorporated as these businesses scale?
It's a great question. I do believe at scale, for a company to really get out there and service most of India and then even eventually outside India, you would need to sort of be really, really good at one or two things.
Yeah.
And have a set of partners that grow with you and allow you to be successful because you're making them successful. And I think Dipinder said this well once in a meeting I was there, where today if you order food, you're likely to get an SMS from the restaurant, likely to get it from the delivery guy, and you're likely to get it from Zomato. The customer doesn't need 3 SMSs telling him that the food is there, and all 3 are probably saying different things. You really need one face and one integrated consumer experience where the food is tracked and delivered to you. So I think integration, but everybody should do what they're really good at over time.
Okay, that's a good point that you make. But how imperative is pricing as far as this business is concerned? And ultimately, can your business models be based only on your pricing capability?
Yeah, I think the number one thing that will stop any other company from disrupting us is always going to be the cost. So how I look at it is, why you said it earlier. I look at it as towers for telecom companies. So we have the infrastructure for it. So you pay for the infrastructure.
How much of bringing your cost down is on account of being able to leverage technology?
A lot actually.
90%, 80%, 70%, a lot doesn't tell me very much.
I'll tell you. So if we don't use any technology and there's a simple guy who, who simply has a number of delivery boys with him. So 10 delivery boys, he can manage say 70 deliveries with him. What we can do is with 10 guys, we can do 200 deliveries. So we can do 3 times the deliveries with our tech.
How involved are you with the tech side of the business? How involved are you with actually being able to leverage the power of technology to deliver on your promise of price, convenience, and what was the third one? Quality. Quality,
yeah.
Yes.
So when we look at technology, right, it's not just a few lines of code. That's, we have our algorithms, we have a bunch of code that makes it possible to give an order to the right kind of guy and making possible for one delivery boy to do 40 orders in a day. But we take technology beyond, right? How do we get food to you the way it is supposed to be, using thermal engineering, using food science? That's the real technology.
Can I ask you all a question? Because I'm sure all of you have business plans and you all put your business plans together when you started off and of course raised money and so on and so forth. How many of you actually have customer plans? How many of you judge or assess your business on customer metrics, on customer acquisition, customer retention? How many of you actually do that?
You want to start? The others
go ahead. Okay.
Answer for the others, but we live, breathe, and sleep, not with, but sleep.
Customer plans.
So that's all it matters, right? I mean, how many customers are repeating with you on any given day? What do the cohorts look like?
Mohit, how important is that? And are you seeing that happen more and more, especially in the startup universe, where it's not just about the business plan, but it's really about the customer plan?
These days, it's almost hard to find revenue in companies, so we live with consumer and cohort numbers, but I'm only half kidding. I think he's right. I mean, if you can get people to use you, then it's just a matter of time that they're going to pay you.
What is the single biggest fear that you have at this point in time as you try and scale? What is the number one fear?
Not being able to feed people well.
Okay, that's a real fear. What is the fear that you have at Chayos?
We should not get the team wrong.
Not get the team wrong. By the way, you raise an important point. How critical is it to actually get the right team in place? And is talent acquisition, forget customer acquisition, is talent acquisition a critical challenge as far as you guys are concerned?
It's always a challenge, I believe, that goes irrespective of which sector you are operating in.
How big a challenge is talent acquisition and talent retention for you?
For me, the talent retention in the central team is not big an issue, but the retention with the delivery boys is a big issue.
Unfortunately, we've completely run out of time here. Thank you very much to the panelists for very bravely and candidly answering all of the questions that we threw at you. We appreciate your patience here, and thank you very, very much. I wish all of you the very best of luck with your future expansion plans. Thanks very much for joining us here this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you.